Hello and welcome to a sort of gig log type video, this one for the Plymouth Grove Primary School Summer 2017 show, which was Beauty and the Beast this year. This is the 5th year I've worked on this show, but it's the first year I've actually made a video about it because it was an aftershoot of us having to film the show for parents to watch afterwards. This year I had two technicians, Hamed and Omar. Now Hamed was running the board, the desk, and Omar was starting tracks on the computer for us. Now we do have a time lapse of our setup, so you can watch this now. Filming of the show was done on a Canon PowerShot A2500, which is the same camera I'm filming this on, and it's a very nice camera, albeit slightly limited with its zooming capacity at only 5 times, although aside from that it did rather well, as it didn't really have to do anything apart from hit record and record the show. We also had another angle on us technicians, which was filmed by a Samsung WV690, which is really the opposite of this camera. Slightly less quality, but a very, very long zoom at 18 times, which is nice for certain purposes. There is a link to the full show, which is another video I made, in the description, and a card to it in the corner of this video. Now this year some of the kit that we used was mine, and some of it was borrowed from a friend of mine. So we had two FBT 10A active speakers, which was the first time I've used those speakers, and I have to say they are fantastic. Really, really nice sound quality. We had two of them, one on the left hand side of the hall and one on the right hand side of the hall, and they did really well. It was a fairly small hall, and I think they did really well getting the sound around without having to crank them up really loud. The two microphones that you saw on either side, either corner of the stage, were Shure SM58 microphones, sorry for the stutter there, and we were using these to pick up solos from the main cast in certain songs, and I'll show you an example of that later, because we've got performance footage because we had to film the whole thing. The desk we used was my new Helix Board Mark II Firewire, which is made by Phonic, and that did really, really well at coping with the show. It wasn't such a massive show technical wise, because I mean we only had sound this year. In previous years we've had lighting as well, but this year we had two microphones, two wireless microphones, which were little Shure body pack transmitters with a little lapel clip, which will show you an example of those being used. We used these for Bell, and we used this for LeFou, who needed a boost in their spoken word sections as well. They did really well. They were borrowed off my church, so thank you for them. We did have a few little toys to play with, one of these being a combined power XLR wire, which is very useful in getting power and the audio signal to one of the speakers from the desk. As you'll know, active speakers must require power as well, because they're basically an amp and a speaker in one. Now, we were also using a Pro Sound microphone, just a little one that I had lying around at home, that we were using to make a few announcements during the show at the beginning and at the end, turn off your phones, etc, etc. Now, we did encounter a few problems, and the first of these was the computer was generating a lot of interference with, hissing, crackling down the speakers. We did manage to fix this by turning the volume right down on the computer and giving it a little bit of gain on the desk, which sorted that problem. We also had a wireless receiver run out of battery, transmitter I should say. It ran out of battery in the dress rehearsal, but we charged it up for the real show and all was good. So yeah, we had, I think, 7 channels in use on the desk. So we had the 2 clip mics, the 2 microphones, the music for the show routed to left-right faders, and then the announcements microphone. Now, the music for the show was not live, it was just being played off a computer, and we were just running it through a 3.5mm headphone jack on the computer into the desk, using a cable I bought from Cable Stop, which is, it did very well actually. I was quite impressed. Now, some people told us that the right-hand speaker wasn't working too well. Now, I disagreed with this, but it may have been true, as we couldn't really hear it from where we were mixing from, as we were at the side of the room, which isn't so great in terms of mixing for a large audience that are in the middle. But we did our best, and I think it sounded reasonable from where we were at. And so I think that concludes the rundown. Unfortunately, it didn't get a setup tour for you. We have got a little clip of us at the end of one of the shows, just showing you our little setup up the side of the room, and the rest of this video will just be performance footage with some captions to show you what's going on. Okay, thank you for watching. Right then, so this is the mixer. The reason is to control that speaker there and that one over there. We've got 2 microphones, there's one, the other's behind Miss Morgan there. And we're playing the music off the laptop. The camera's over there. That's what's going on. Oh yeah, we've got a clip mic too.
Thank you for watching our Beauty and the Beast show. Now it's finally time for you to meet our cast!